What's up, what's up? Come on in. Down to the dungeon we go. Don't look at my coat, okay? Let's get some lights in here. Hey, what's up? I'm Ben Villapiena, and this is my denim making studio. So this is the studio I've had for about 8 years now. Let's go take a look. So I got a lot of sewing machines. I think last time I did a count, it was roughly 200. You know, you don't necessarily need a lot of machines to make a pair of jeans. Every jeans that I make, usually I use about 12 machines. Sometimes there's only like one machine and it does one thing. Whether it's the buttonhole machine that all it does is buttonholes, the bar tacker and all it does is the bar tack. This one's just for out seams. This one I use to piece the pocket liners. This one I use to close the pocket liner. Like, these are so random, but to me, that's the details that make it important, you know? There's stuff like this where like I don't use it for jeans, but when I was into like making baseball caps, this is dope for that. Waistbands for jeans. These two are like siblings. This is like 1929, this is 1951. They do the same thing, triple needle chain stitch, something like this, right? But the older one I use for lighter weights, and this one I use for heavy weights. You know, there's the good ones that people all desire, you know, like these are for hemming jeans and they're super popular. So I put two on one table just to flex on them. This is another waistband machine, but it does 2 pieces of material as opposed to 1. And then this one I can set up with 4 needles or 3 needles or 2 needles or 1 needle. Whereas that one I usually just keep it as 1 needle. So there's lots of different things that you can kind of mix and match depending on the creative style you want to do. Bunch of stuff over here. Well, this one's from 1911. This is what I make all the belt loops on. They're super common and you can still find some of these around, but parts are becoming very, very scarce, which maybe I can show you over here. These are my parts cabinets. 1, 2, and then we should continue and say 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 over here. 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So there's parts on top of parts, on top of parts, on top of parts. This one's just for needles. Yeah, I know, it's psychotic. On that famous hemming machine that I was telling you about, these are the original loopers. Now on eBay, they go for like 200, 300 bucks. There's a bag full of them. If you don't have any parts and you're stuck on using these old things, when they die, then your business dies. So you gotta be on top of that. The first machine I bought, I was living in Thailand at the time, and I bought what I thought was like a good machine. The brand was Juiki. It was a fake Juki. One dude showed me a Japanese magazine, how to make jeans. And so it had all these different machines in there. And so I went to the store and I was like, I need this, 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 and this. You know, they showed me some stuff and I started collecting from there. Everywhere I go, whether it's like road trip in the States or I'm ordering from overseas, I try to buy things all over. You just gotta go for it if you like it. And you could always get a deal, right? Like, here, this is like it's a very common machine. You can probably even find it for like 100 bucks on Facebook Marketplace. I traded something for free for it. So you always gotta find the deals, you know? This guy sent me one photo and it was a palette of all these old black Union Specials and they looked mint. And I was like, oh my God, like, I was like, I need these. And so I asked him, I was like, where is it, where is it? And he wouldn't tell me. So I found it, I went there and the guy, he was like, do you want one? Do you want? I was like, no, the whole palette, obviously. I'm not here just for one, you know? He's like, okay, give me like 3 for 100. So I took everything he had. The deals you want, you know? And then there's machines that I get sort of like grail pieces where I've wanted it for a long time. And this looks very disassembled because all the pieces are in a box over here. And I'm gonna be rebuilding it to its former glory. This right here is my sort of favorite machine. It's a felling machine. Some people call it feet off the arm. It's for like piecing 2 panels together. So the folder here will help you twist the material in a certain way that stitches out. And it's a very hard machine to use. A lot of people, they want to get into jeans making and so they find one, they buy it and they're like, I think mine's broken because it just doesn't work well. I'm like, yeah, bro, I've been doing this 20 years. I'm still figuring this thing out. But I love it. Here are my folders and extra parts, attachments. So these things you can add to a sewing machine to do another function. Belt loop folders, lap seam attachments, waistband folders for overalls, stuff like that. Here's all my thread. You know, I use a lot of different sizes for every pair of jeans, shirts, jackets, whatever. Everything's different size. So you gotta have every color, every size. Just makes life easier. Selvage denim underneath the cutting table. This is the bread and butter of the company right here. So keeping good stock means a good product. This is my ironing station. These are my patterns. I've named some of them, just the customer's name, because he's cool. This is how I attach buttons. This is my mess corner, and my daughter is making a dress over here, apparently. This is where I ship your stuff from. I go like this, and then it happens. Oh my God, who's that? Who's that handsome man? So I'd say my sort of passion for creating or sewing or all this stems from, you know, early childhood. My dad was a tailor. He would never say no. Like, it was like, oh, I want to make this. He's like, okay. Hey, I want to build a skateboard ramp. Okay. I want to build a half pipe. Okay. I want to do, so everything was just like, let's just do it. You know, time went on, and my chores as a kid, I was like threading needles for my dad and like, you know, cleaning the shop and dusting machines and stuff like that. So I was always around it. Sort of became more and more interested as time went on. 16, 17 years old is when I was like making stuff on a regular basis, and started selling back then. So I started quite early, and ever since then I just tried to one-up myself, just tried to do things better and better. When I was around 19 years old, I ended up going to Thailand with a few friends, and I ended up staying there. You know, a 1-month vacation turned into 10 years. When I knew I was staying, the first thing I went out and did, I bought a machine. Kept building and building, and I used to love making jackets actually, but when I was in Thailand, it was too hot, so I just was like, I'm gonna go back to jeans and figure that out. So that's what I did. I kept doing it, kept on collecting more and more and more machines, and by the time I left, I had 36 machines or something, and great learning experience. Because you could mess up over there and your rent was $200, you know? You know, as I'm collecting these machines and making it a full-time business, I was working from home for the first like 8 years while I was there, and people would come to the house. I had like famous people. I was on Thai TV and all these random things, and people were showing up at my crib. Eventually I got a nice studio thanks to a couple friends in Thailand. Shout out Heavy Selection. They had a beautiful store, bringing a bunch of brands in, but they ended up hitting it off real good, so they went to the mall, and I got the store after. It was very good to have my sort of nicer studio there, and very fond memories of that spot. Since then, I've always kind of had a store. It was mostly just like a workshop vibe, but that place was more of like a storefront. So I ended up leaving Thailand in 2016. So I built the studio here. This place has treated me well. I've put a lot of time, a lot of effort, built all these shelves, you know, made everything, built a bunch of custom tables to make everything fit. I was very blessed to find this place. So, but, you know, things move on, things change, and now it's time for us to have a change too. So we're gonna be moving to a bigger, better place with windows. So we're driving through the streets here in Toronto, and there's some good old some McDonald's over here, you know, there's Tim Hortons, and get your double-double over there. Anyways, so we ditched the last studio, 8 years in a basement, I'm out. So we're gonna go to the new studio now, and let's drive. So the new spot isn't the center of Toronto fashion anymore. I'm not on #Ossington. I was pretty close at the old shop. The new shop is definitely in more of an industrial zone, which I like. Shout out U-Haul. I'll be coming here in a second to get some trucks to put all my machines in. I kind of like the idea of it being an industrial zone now, especially now that I've transitioned the business from custom to doing drops. That will be much better. And literally there's just factories left and right, but that's the way I like it. All right, so we're just about here, and as you can see, it's pure industrial area, and I guarantee I won't have any parking. Or maybe I will, I don't know. So let's park in front of someone else's spot. Here we are. I installed the doorbell. That's not even the key. All right, so it's kind of a big mess right now, but this will have all the books and magazines and stuff over here, a rack with some clothes or something over here. This will be my office eventually, maybe computer over here somewhere. It'll have a little window to look back into the warehouse. Not yet, we have to go the other way, can't see it, okay, hold on. It's gotta be the big reveal. Oh, do you need more sewing machine needles? Probably not. But if you do, I have a few thousand. Actually, this is the remnant of the last guy that was here. And here we are. Welcome. This is the new cutting table. A little bigger than the last one. We're gonna fill this up with machines all over here. There might be machines on the back wall over there as well. This will be sort of my storage area slash a place to sort of mess around, have a little work table with some tools. This is where it's gonna happen now. And then maybe we should go upstairs and take a peek, because now I got an upstairs. And yeah, so let's see. It's not crazy, but it's nice and it's decent size. This used to be like a full wall, and so we cut it in half, and I built this sort of like a bar counter thing to, like, you know, take a little sip of some Kool-Aid and like accidentally knock it off. I'm thinking to put my skinny table along this wall with all the salvage rolls underneath and stuff, and have a bunch of the older nice machines kind of like displayed here a little bit better. And this way I have a window now. Still trying to put it all together. But yeah, this will be a fun little area. And to top off this amazing space is I have my own personal little throne over here. And I'm gonna leave the mic on while I use it. There we go. So this place, when I first saw it, it was full of about maybe 7,000, 8,000 Halloween costumes. And it was just like bare bones, like raw concrete floor, nothing was painted, everything was like trash falling apart. They had stuff just hanging from the ceiling in random spots. Nothing was insulated on the walls. There was no drywall. You could literally see into the unit next door. And even now, the sound quality isn't good because I didn't soundproof it, but there's a lot of little things that I'm doing. Like this is, you know, some electrical that's going in now. So you can still hear next door a little bit, but I think it's way better. You know, and I redid all the concrete floors. Like I ground them all and then painted them. A lot of improvements have been made, even if they're just like small ones, like just like a fresh coat of paint. It does a lot for the space. It really opened it up. Yeah, I'm stoked. I'm stoked to get her going. Like these are all the photos that I took off the wall at the other space. So my buddy Jean Lemay, he embroidered this for me because I love Union Special. And then there's things like this, but this paper is from like 1901. Oh, the gift, my gift from YKK Tokyo. The guy who runs YKK Tokyo was like, he visited my shop and he was like, oh, you need a gift. Who's this guy? Yeah, so many just random pictures and there's one of the old studio that I thought would be cool. Yeah, like this. Here's the old studio in Thailand. Just so, you know, I could reminisce over the good times, you know? This is the mirror I use when I wake up every morning. I, you know, just clean up a little bit. Pull my nose hairs. Ow. Camp Rock? No, the movie with Jack Black where he's like, oh, something. Nacho Libre. He's like, you know. That's the best one ever. So that's that. One of the downsides is that there's a westerly wind, so the wind brings all the stuff in here. And yes, we're forklift certified here. So next time I'm back, we'll be bringing machines in.